Hi everyone and welcome back to my Canada Immigration Explore YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to talk about Super Visa, a good alternative to the Parents and Grandparents Program. May 21st marked the reopening of the Parents and Grandparents Program PGP. However, this year will also mark the fourth consecutive year of the PGP that Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada will select eligible applicants from the 2020 pool. This means that sponsors in subsequent years have not yet been given the chance to enter the PGP candidate pool to sponsor their loved ones to earn Canadian permanent residence. In light of this reality, those who have not been able to sponsor their parents and grandparents do have another route to bring their loved ones to Canada, the Super Visa. While different from the PGP, the Super Visa exists for similar reasons, allowing Canadians to reunite with loved ones. Now, let's talk about Super Visa programs availability. The PGP and the Super Visa programs have very different availabilities. The PGP is only available once a year, with an even more limited availability due to IRCC's decision to only consider eligible sponsors from the 2020 intake. The PGP works on a lottery system, which opens once a year, for 2 weeks, meaning candidates from the eligible pool are chosen at random when distributing invitations to apply for PR. Super Visa program is available year-round for eligible sponsors. The program accepts applications throughout the year and considers all eligible sponsors equally, as opposed to the PGP's lottery system, yielding a much higher average success rate for applications. Now, let's talk about Parents and Grandparents Program, PGP, eligibility. Both programs are only accessible to the parents or grandparents of Canadian citizens or permanent residents. There are no minimum time requirements for candidates to hold this status, but sponsors must be either a Canadian citizen or permanent resident at the time of applying. Note, while eligible sponsors must initially submit candidate profiles and applications for the PGP, the Super Visa requires that sponsored individuals, the parents or grandparents of a permanent resident or citizen, apply themselves. To be eligible for the PGP, candidates must have submitted an interest to sponsor form on IRCC's website in 2020. Be a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or a registered Indian under the Canadian Indian Act. Be 18 years of age or older, reside in Canada. Potential applicants will need to provide a proof of status during the interest to sponsor phase. Meet or exceed the minimum necessary income level for this program. If married or in a common law relationship, the income of both the sponsor and spouse can be included, and provide proof of income to IRCC. Sign an undertaking to financially support the sponsored for 20 years, starting when they become permanent residents. Applicants in Quebec will need to sign an undertaking for 10 years, and to repay any social assistance benefits paid to the sponsored family members, if applicable, for a period of 20 years. To be eligible for the Super Visa, applicants must be outside of Canada at the time of their application, provide proof of an eligible host, who is a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or registered Indian under the Canadian Indian Act, including proof of the applicant's relationship to the host, proof of the host status in Canada, proof that the host is 18 years of age or older and resides in Canada, proof that the host meets Canada's low-income cut-off criteria. Under both programs, those being sponsored cannot be medically or criminally inadmissible to travel to Canada. Now, let's talk about immigration outcomes. The PGP and Super Visa programs also deliver different immigration outcomes to those who have their applications approved. Under the PGP, successful applicants receive PR status, enabling them to live, work and settle in Canada for as long as they want, and giving them access to most of the rights of a Canadian citizen. Under the Super Visa program, successful applicants are given temporary resident status, similar to those on a work or study permit in Canada. This means that their stays will also be limited in Canada. Super Visa holders are able to stay in Canada for up to 5 years at a time, with the opportunity to extend for an extra 2 years, meaning that these temporary residents can potentially stay in Canada for 7 years at a time before needing to leave. Now, let's talk about PGP cost. Due to their differing immigration outcomes, both programs also have varying costs. Note, in addition to application costs, sponsors under the PGP must meet or exceed the minimum necessary income (MNA) criteria for sponsorship, while Super Visa sponsors must meet the low-income cutoff. For the PGP, successful applicants are required to pay $1,205 for a principal applicant, which includes a sponsorship fee $85, principal applicant processing fee $545, CAD, and right of permanent residence fee $575. An additional $1,210 is required to include the spouse or partner of your parent or grandparent, which includes a $635 processing fee, and a $575 right of permanent residence fee. Applicants can also waive the permanent residence fee for the principal applicant and their spouse partner in special circumstances. In contrast, applicants under the Super Visa program will need to pay $100 for their single or multiple entry Super Visa for a single applicant, or a $500 fee per family of 5 being sponsored. Applicants may also pay an additional $100 fee to extend their stay as a visitor, or a $229 fee to restore their status in Canada, should they need to be considered as a family under the Super Visa. Family members must all apply at the same time and place, and all children in the family must qualify as dependents. In the end, I would like to request you please like the video and subscribe Canada Immigration Explore YouTube channel, and also share this video to your friends and family members for Canada immigration updates. Thank you. See you in the next video. Take care.